What's up? How's it going? I'm Mav. We're going to have a conversation about self-trust today. What's the point of self-trust? Why is it important? What does it do for you? What can it do for you? I think self-trust is super vital for us in our lives because we need to be able to rely on ourselves fully as we move through life, and we have to be able to count on ourselves and trust in our own opinion and trust in the things that come up for us. So I have three reasons why self-trust is so valuable and so important. The first one is that self-trust helps you develop your intuition. I think that in developing your intuition is super important. We have little insights that pop up throughout the day, and when we are in a deeply trusting relationship with ourselves, we're able to take that information and recognize it as valid, and we're able to do something with it. If someone is not in a very trusting space with their intuition, they might have things that come up for them, but they just deny them, or they think that they're not important or that they're not valuable. Over time, that adds up, and you might find yourself in situations where you're feeling like, I don't really know how I got here, or I really thought, I had feelings that I shouldn't have gone in this direction, but I just did it anyway. Those are just reflections of kind of what not having self-trust can do in terms of your intuition. The second thing is that intuition is super important when it comes to learning how to heal. When you are going to do anything that involves emotional healing, you have to establish a place of safety within yourself. This means that if you have a certain emotion that arises and your internal aspects don't feel secure or safe, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to do anything practical with those emotions because you don't trust yourself. And this goes beyond the conscious level and starts to mess around with the subconscious effects of not having a relationship with self-trust. So why I say it's unconscious is because we can have a lot of subconscious beliefs, subconscious aspects that we may not necessarily recognize that we might have a difficult relationship with, and that over time can start to kind of cause quite a number of problems. For example, if I were to experience emotions of let's say grief or something like that, but I wasn't feeling trusting of myself to know what to do with the emotions of grief, then I'll probably suppress the emotions. Does this make sense? I hope that this makes sense. But this is why self-trust is so important in healing. We need to be able to have a really solid relationship with our inner parts, and really we need to be able to rely on ourselves in order to have an effective relationship in terms of healing. And the last thing that self-trust does is it allows us to grow. When we are trusting ourselves more, we create a good foundation to take steps in the direction that we want to go. So if we're trusting ourselves, and that means that we believe in ourselves, we understand that we're capable of doing certain things. So if an opportunity presents itself in front of us to do something helpful in our life, maybe to do something different with our life, if we're not coming from a place of self-trust, we might say things like, "Oh, I don't think that I will ever be able to do that," or that's just not me, or I can't ever see myself doing something like that. That is going to keep your perspective pretty limited, and it's not going to allow you to move forward in terms of spiritual growth, financial growth, growth in relationships, think I said spiritual growth already, but even like intellectual growth. Like, we have to be able to have a trusting relationship with ourselves and know that we can actually accomplish things for us to accomplish things, right? So these things all connect to each other. They all go hand in hand, and they're super, super important. So developing self-trust is something that can be tricky, and sometimes you can just need a little bit of support from other folks to be able to, you know, feel like we're surrounded by people and that we're in a safe space to learn and experiment with self-trust. And if you want to join our community, our Facebook group, I'm going to leave a comment for you to join that in the description below, and you will be able to join it there. I can't wait to see you there. We're doing lots of great work together. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.